Hey guys, I have a minute for a video for you guys, and this one has a pretty epic ending. There's two parts to it. One's a great explosion, and the other one's a pretty funny little clip. So I'm not going to spoil it for you guys. So now on to the game. We are playing as the Americans. It's me and someone I don't know. Our opponents are the Germans. I assume they don't know each other either. My ally said good luck, and just to be funny, I finished the sentence saying to everyone. So off the start, I bought an SMG squad and a bazooka man, whatever they're called, rocket launcher infantry, that's it. I'm spreading out my SMG infantry. You don't want to have them clumped up. If you do, one explosion will kill them all. Normally the left side here, where the church is not contested until late in the game, so I'm pretty confident nothing's going to happen, so I'm looking at my, not opponent's, ally's side, and I notice he only has infantry. So I'm knowing I have to get a vehicle at some point. Right now, because I can't afford a vehicle, or I couldn't at the time when I looked, now I can, but at the time I looked, I couldn't, so I'm reorganizing my infantry over there, making sure they have sight everywhere. And I'm watching my ally's side. I bought a Greyhound, but then his M19 shows up, and I'm like, oh, well that was a stupid purchase on my part. And it was. And right there it skipped because the game froze and I had to stop recording and then start recording again. It happened twice there. You might have seen it, but that's the only time I skip in this game. So the enemies have a Puma there. I'm backing up because I know that a Puma can kill both of our vehicles, so my ally is also backing up. And I buy a rocket launcher infantry to send to the right side because we don't have anyone there, and sometimes all you need is one, not rocket launcher infantry, flamethrower guy. A flamethrower guy over there to kill stuff and get the point. They can capture points, they can kill tanks by setting them on fire, and they can kill infantry really fast by setting them on fire. So they're a great all-around guy. Here I sent my Greyhound up to flank the Puma, but sadly he saw me. I assume it was infantry that saw me, but I noticed that my tank crew don't get killed immediately. So I'm kind of questioning what it was that made him see me. It might have just been his Puma that saw me, actually. But anyways, I'm sending my tank crew one to the Greyhound to get TNT, but it turns out there is no TNT in this, so I'm like, whatever, get the MG. He'll be an awesome tank crewman with an MG. Yeah. On the right side, I showed it quickly. I was moving my flamethrower dude into some cover so that he can survive while I mess up here. So I send my MG tank crew up there, and my flamethrower infantry dude to some other cover, and my tank crew with the MG dies, and then I don't know. Yeah, this isn't the place where that happens. I spot the Panzer 1 from my ally. Panzer 1's easy to take down, and it only has MGs on the top. It does not have any cannons, so it's not going to kill any vehicles. My ally's M19 manages to take it out easily. I have one tank crewman left up at the top, where my Greyhound died. Here I'm just sending one SMG infantry up there to spot for my team, I guess, not just me. And that is something you should always do on this map. That is because this map is so big and wide open, and it'll also let you see what your enemies have behind the lines. So now we're getting some... I'm sending some infantry to the right. These are Rangers, and I brought an M3 for support, the M3 Lee. I think it's an M3. I know it's a Lee, so I'm going to call it the Lee. I'm spreading up my Rangers so that they don't all die from one explosion. And I know that there's enemy infantry here because my flamethrower guy died. So that's why I chose to send infantry and a tank, not just another flamethrower guy. So my infantry are getting killed. I'm quickly selecting them all and telling them to stop by using the S key on my keyboard. I always have my fingers on S and X. S is for stop, X is for examine. Those are the two things I do most often. Unless I'm direct controlling, which case I use the arrow keys and the end key above it, but I don't have a finger on the end key. End key toggles the direct control on and off, in case you didn't know what that did. So my M3 Lee is shooting at some infantry behind the wall. I don't see him right now, but I did see him earlier. So I send one infantry guy up there in the cover, hoping that if the enemy infantry show themselves again, he will be seen. So I saw my allies M19 backing up at the top left corner there. So I see a Hetzer, which is the cause of him backing up. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to penetrate a Hetzer easily. So I buy a flamethrower guy. And I'm hoping that the Hetzer will come close somewhere and then I can just flame the tank so that it explodes after catching fire. I send my flamethrower guy to the right side, I think. Kind of making a diagonal in the minimap, but I think he is going to the right side. I think my ally pointed out something to me there. I'm not sure what it was. My infantry on the right side managed to spot some people, and my allies M19 take them out. So I'm moving up all my infantry here. I'm not going to move up my M3 Lee yet. I'm saying a lot this game. I don't know why. Anyways, move up my M3 now. My ally's moving back his M19. I'm not sure why. In the minimap, I guess that was another skip. So apparently the enemy has a tiger and my M3 lost his tread. So it's useless because it's not even pointing at the tiger. There's no turret on it. The cannons just are on a fixed position basically. And so it can't hit the tiger because it's too far angled to the right. If I had turned it to the left before it lost its track, that would have been great, but I didn't. Up there I still have my tank crew. I select him just to make sure he's there, make sure it's the one guy. On the left side, I think I'm spreading out my infantry a little more. And he tells me to push, so I'm like, okay, that's why I was looking on the left side, so I could push. And that's actually what I was thinking of doing. I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to do it yet, but he told me to, so I go ahead and do it. And I also tell him okay sometime soon here. I have a long delay before I tell him okay, just because I don't really respond to those kind of messages typically, but I should, just to be nice. So now there's my tank crewman up there, and my ally says, "Fuck, tiger." I'm like, yeah, there's a tiger there. I'm surprised you didn't notice that earlier. So on the right side, my infantry are dying. My flamethrower dude just died. I don't think I noticed it at the time. I was too focused on getting this bazooka man safely into some cover. Yeah, I go prone in these, which isn't going to do me much good, but it does help. Even if you're prone in the middle of nothing, you're harder to spot than if you're standing up in the middle of nothing. So I noticed I have dead infantry here. I'm like, oh, that's great. I guess the opponents have quite a formidable force there. So I know I need to concentrate more on the right side. And nothing's going on now. I bought some infantry, some rangers, and I'm moving them up. I also bought a sniper before them because I want to be able to snipe the people at the top left, because I know that the enemy has infantry there. And if I can snipe them, then the enemy will be kind of flustered and will try to take out the sniper. The best way to do that is to have your own sniper. So if the enemy should be getting his own sniper. That will trouble me because he can see everything I have then. And that reminds me, the second point of getting the sniper was not just to take out his infantry, but also just so I could see what all is there. Because I know he has stuff, but I don't know what he has. So my sniper's down here, and it turns out that's a hill, so he can't really see anyone. He manages to get this one guy, and then I think I have to move him pretty soon. I know I do end up moving him up to the top of the hill next to the church. Yeah, right now I'm moving up to the top of the church. The bushes right there got destroyed. Yeah, great commentary. My rangers are killing people. Some riflemen, which is how it should be. Rangers cost more than riflemen, so yeah. On the right side here, I see a tank. It's another Panzer 1. And I'm like, dude, get out your AT grenade and go kill it. But he decides to crawl, because he was outside of the AT grenade throwing range, even though I thought he was inside. So he crawled, and I was not expecting that, and he died. So I quickly get this guy to go get dynamite from the tank, because he is tank crew, and he doesn't come with AT grenades. So he has to do that. And I forgot that I had a bazooka man there. But he fires and misses, dies from the tank. I threw the dynamite. It landed next to the tank, my tank, basically. So I quickly ran away from the tank thinking it's going to explode when the dynamite explodes. My guy survives, but the Panzer 1 also survives, which is not good. My ally Slugger just killed a bunch of infantry there. They're not just tank destroyers, they can also kill infantry because they do have HE rounds. And one HE round that's 60 millimeters is the same as another HE round that's 60 millimeters in this game. I don't know what millimeter the Slugger uses, that was just an example. Here I have flamethrower infantry, I think. No, he's a bazooka man. I'm getting another bazooka man to the right side because my first one died, and I currently have 0 AT over there, I think. I think I just have 2 tank crewmen. My allies M19 moved up pretty far here in the middle, but he does have infantry somewhat close by. Very close by actually, which is not good. You want your infantry to be spread out around the vehicle rather than right next to the vehicle, because if they're spread out around the vehicle, then they will spot enemy vehicles sooner. And that would be better because you don't want enemy vehicles sneaking up to you and seeing your vehicle, which just died right there, which is what I mean. The enemy saw his M19 and killed it with the Tiger. But so, right now, I know that the Tiger has his rear armor facing me. I'm like, this will be great to kill, but I can't decide on what tank to buy because I know that the enemy has stuff around me here on the right side. I know that there's a Panzer 1, and I know that there's infantry. So if I buy a tank, it's most likely going to die before it kills the Tiger, so I decide against it. I'm sending my bazooka man up to some cover closer to the front line, because I want him to be able to destroy any vehicles that come by, and possibly even destroy the Tiger that's up at the point. So we have both of the left points right now, and we're pretty good on surrounding them with infantry and vehicles, so they're pretty well defended. The Tiger still has his rear armor facing me. I'm like, this would be great if only I could kill it, but I can't because, as you see right there, my guy just died from infantry killing him. The enemy has infantry, so whatever I got would die before it killed the Tiger. The Tiger killed my ally Slugger, I think. I'm looking for a Slugger on the battlefield. I don't see one. I'm using my sniper right now to look for enemy infantry, and I find a King Tiger. So I point that out to my teammate, and I'm looking for more infantry while his infantry, I guess tank crewmen, tried to fight off riflemen at long range. That's not gonna work. At least they damaged the riflemen though. My sniper, I found one guy with my sniper, I told him to kill it, but apparently he's right at the point in the hill where he can see the person, but he can't snipe them, which sucks. So here's an armored car and some infantry making an assault. My sniper is the green thingy in the middle of the screen now. I'm telling some SMG infantry to come up to the sniper, because I want my sniper to kill one guy right here. Boom, he's dead, and quickly run away. And does he make it? Will he make it? Yeah, he does. So he gets behind the church, tell him to go prone, and my SMG guy right there is protecting my sniper, like he should be. So now I'm considering getting a tank. I decide against it again, and instead get a scout, because I want to go ahead and flank his King Tiger, and a scout would be much better at that than the SMG infantry I have at the top left. I do have that one SMG infantry guy at the top left flanking still. So I'm going to have 2 people flanking up there, which is okay. You don't want too many people doing it because then they'll be easily spotted. And in the middle, we are kind of losing our foothold. I see this enemy infantry coming up, so I throw a grenade, but I have to get out before I can actually throw it. So because the enemy threw a grenade in through the hole, crater, that's what it's called. So I throw my grenade and the enemy throws his grenade. I try to get out, but the enemy shoots me before I can get out, and then my grenade kills the enemy infantry, so it's a 1-for-1 after trading 3 grenades and some bullets. So my scout has caught up to my other SMG infantry up there at the top, and I have them both scouting. I don't want them next to each other because the SMG infantry, if he gets found, then the enemy will start shooting at him and most likely hit my scout in the process on accident. So you don't want them next to each other at all. Right there I had a bunch of people clumped up, and that is why you don't do it. They easily got mowed down by that Puma. Armored car. What am I saying? I thought it was an armored car. So here I noticed that, oh, my SMG infantry dude died, and I see 2 red dots on the map. I'm considering shooting this guy, but I don't want my scout to be seen. His really long pistol is silenced, so he won't be seen on the mini-map per se, but he is more likely to be seen if he fires that bullet. So I decide against it and just let him stay there and try to get my sniper to kill him. If my sniper kills his infantry, my scout is clear, and they won't know that my scout is there. They'll think that my sniper just found his infantry. So here my ally gives me a Sherman 76W, which I don't really need it. I'm floating 163 points, but he bought one and he gave me one. So I'm like, okay, you're gonna run out of points so quickly, and I'm sitting here floating 160. This is not doing any good. But I don't tell him that because I'm too busy trying to fight for the middle. As you can see, the opponent has a lot of infantry there, and they also have the point. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to take the middle, especially with that King Tiger sitting at the top. So I send my Sherman over here to help my infantry. But then I quickly realize the King Tiger is still there, so I end up backing up my Sherman. Not yet, but now I do. And the King Tiger kills my Sherman, which is expected. The King Tiger is a much better tank, but more expensive, of course. So that was a waste of my allies' points. I don't know how many it is. About 40, I think. But yeah, I wasted my allies' points. Kind of feeling bad. So I buy a slugger and tried to go on the right flank of the King Tiger, and I noticed that I don't have anyone left on the right side. So I buy some infantry. I think it's rangers that I buy to go along with my slugger on the right so that he has infantry support. You never want to send your tank out without infantry support, but before I talk about that, I send this guy up here. He throws a grenade because I know that there's a guy there, and he explodes. I was planning to throw the grenade and then run up so that I could kill him with the Thompson, but he dies from the grenade. I was expecting him to run away from the grenade, but that didn't happen, obviously. My slugger killed a puma, and now me and my ally both have a slugger. And I noticed the tiger here, so I'm like, oh, back up, back up, back up. I don't have enough armor to withstand a tiger shot, and I can't see the tiger. I'm pretty sure you can't penetrate it from this far with the slugger. The tiger moves up. I move my slugger back, and the enemy also moves up infantry, which find my infantry. So he moves his tiger back because he knows I have infantry around here, and he does not want it killed by my infantry. So what I was saying about never move up your tank without infantry, yeah, you don't, because your infantry will spot things that your tank can't. Your tank only has a small circle line of sight around it, and then whichever way the cannon is facing is its main line of sight, and that's a very narrow area, so it's very easy for enemy infantry to sneak up on your tank. That's also why you want your infantry spread out around your tank, because they will spot enemy vehicles and then you can get positioned to flank the enemy vehicle rather than having the enemy vehicle find you and flank you. So the King Tiger is still sitting at the top of the map, basically, near the middle point, and one of our sluggers died. It looks like it was my ally's slugger that died. Mine is still alive, and my ally's M114, which is a howitzer, also died because of a Hummel. At this point, I didn't notice that, so I don't know that the enemy has a Hummel. But anyways, I am moving up SMG infantry in the middle. I didn't buy rangers this time because I didn't really want to spend the points on them, and I'm looking here down low so I can get into the window of the house, and I think that window is bugged because you cannot shoot out of it. Even if the house is not damaged, you can't shoot out of that window, so I think that was bugged. But anyways, here I find the Hummel. I'm like, oh great, and notice my ally's M114 is dead, and my slugger is also getting pounded, and because my slugger is open roof, that is not good at all. My SMG infantry in the middle are getting shredded by stormtroopers. My slugger dies to the King Tiger, if you can see from the top left, and I buy submachine gun infantry to send to the left side because my infantry are dying quickly over there. Not quickly, but steadily. I started with a whole squad over there, and I have 3 people left, I think. So I need more than that to guard the point, to make sure that the enemy does not get it. Because if we keep the left, the enemy keeps the right, and we fight over the middle, that is the best case scenario, because we have 830 points, the enemy has 441, and there's 6 minutes left in the game, approximately, a little under. So now the enemy is taking the middle. I grabbed the machine gun and dynamite from inside the dead slugger. Yeah, that's my dead slugger, I think. It's one of them. So now I have a tank crewman with an MG and dynamite. So he is a really important tank crewman. The enemy has an armored car here. My ally bought a flamethrower guy to get rid of it, and I bought a bazooka guy to get rid of it. And my bazooka guy is named Steve Roberts. Fun fact of the day. You can see the names in the bottom left corner when you select infantry. So the enemy has the middle. Their King Tiger is getting, well, is close to the point, so I know that they're moving up pretty heavily. So So I'm thinking about moving the infantry along the wall right there, and they die all of a sudden because of a Hummel shell. So that idea pretty much gets destroyed. I select 2 infantry here. They're almost dead. I run them out here because I don't realize they're almost dead. And they get hit by 1 bullet each and are dead now. So I have 1 guy left along the wall here. I'm like, great. That's not very good. So I'm sending my flamethrower dude into the buildings to set them on fire because I know that the enemy has infantry somewhere around there. I'm not entirely sure where. And if my flamethrower dude... Well, flamethrowers have the average lifespan of 45 seconds once they fire their first shot, according to the history books from World War II. And apparently my guy, he had a 5-second lifespan after firing the first shot because I was in foliage, and when you set foliage around you on fire, you're going to catch fire too. So the buildings catch fire, but so does my guy. And that's not good. Nobody dies in the buildings either, so he was a waste of 5 points, except I made stuff catch fire. That's not really worth 5 points. I'm not a pyromaniac. Maybe some of you are, and it's worth it. So I'm sending my scout at the top left around to try and get the King Tiger, because I know that now that the enemy has the middle point, he's going to send all his infantry to the middle point, because his King Tiger is also there, so I know that he's protecting it. My enemies, both of the enemies in this, are smart enough to know that you should protect your infantry, your tanks with infantry. So I know that's where he's going to have everything. On the right side here, my flamethrower guy, no, apparently my tank crewman, or SMG dude, I don't know, whatever he was, died from the armored car. So I'm moving my scout up, and I'm not very afraid of any infantry finding me, because, as I said already, I know that he has most of his force in the middle. My teammate says that we are going to win, and yes, I think we are going to win, because I have my FPS at the top right corner, so it's covering the time. So I think there's like 12 seconds left right now, even though it turns out there's 2 minutes and 12 seconds. So I know that I have to quickly kill this King Tiger if I want to kill it before the game ends. So I get my dynamite out and tell my guy to run up to the King Tiger. Turns out he can't reach, so I direct control him onto it. So like basically direct control, what am I saying? Anyways, I direct control him to the tank, and we get lag because my ally is dropping out. And I didn't realize it at the time. I thought it was an enemy leaving because we were going to win. So I'm like, no, this is a terrible time for lag. Because you have to keep your mouse cursor right where it is, otherwise you have a chance of missing with the dynamite during a lag like that. And I'm like, okay, did he throw it? Yeah, he threw it. And my scout dies in the process because I didn't know he threw the dynamite. I would have run away if I knew he threw the dynamite. So right now I notice, oh, all I have left is a bazooka man, and they have the left side now. Well, I don't have it, but they're taking it. So I send 1 ranger squad up here, 2 ranger squads up here, and I buy a 3rd squad of... Is it ranger squads? No, it's SMG infantry. So I have 2 ranger squads coming up here and 1 SMG squad coming up here, all to take the left-hand side, because as you can see at the top right corner, the enemy is gaining points very fast with all 3 points. Yes, sir. And right now they are about 100 away, which takes very little time to close that gap. So I'm like, send all my infantry to there, kill anyone you see, just get to the point quickly. One of my ranger squads gets there. Nobody's dead, just 1 wounded guy. My 2nd ranger squad gets there, and my SMG infantry get there last, which is the order that I bought them in. So I'm taking it now. I'm like, GG, there's no time left. And then I notice we lose because I didn't notice how much time was actually left in the game. So the enemy now has 847, we have 832. And this is absolutely hilarious. All of my infantry are like, ooh, an armored car, I want to kill it, he's mine, mine. So one guy fails with his AT grenade, and the others all throw it at the armored car, like, mine, I want this car on my record. And it explodes with a whole bunch of other AT grenades there. So anyways, that's the end of the game. Leave a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe for more videos.